The Multi-Purpose Arena Trust, Barry Maister.
Thank you, Mayor, for the chance to again present, and I admire your collective stamina for the task that you are undergoing. Could I first of all just acknowledge Brian Vasselli and Natalie Thane and Malcolm Hudson, who are part of our trustees and will help this morning. First of all, I'd like to acknowledge that we have made some progress in recent times. The government commitment to an infrastructure fund has been helpful. And I'd also like to acknowledge the work that your staff have done with us. We've found a very collaborative relationship with your staff who have done a lot of work behind the scenes and been very helpful to us. And I also acknowledge, Mayor Leanne, your clear public support for a multi-purpose stadium as a priority for the city. We welcome that support, we welcome that leadership, and we thank you for it. There are just 5 points that I want to make today. The first one is just a comment on our trust group, our multi-purpose trust. We have been submitting and presenting and initiating and advocating for some 6 years since the earthquakes. We are a non-partial group, we are a non-political group, we are a group of Cantab ratepayers who are passionate about this project. We have been consistent in our view about the multi-purposeness of this project. That has been consistent. A project which has the potential to be utilised 365 days a year. That has been a consistent view we've had. And we've responded to every twist and turn in the development. When Minister Woods recently indicated that she wanted to look at combining the Metro Centre with the multi-purpose arena, our trust produced plans to indicate how that could work at our expense. We have been flexible, we have tried to respond to the twists and turns, of which I'm sure there'll be some more. We are fully committed to seeing this project through. Second point, we believe there is a real groundswell of support in the city. And we say that because we get out and about and we've engaged with a lot of community groups, and we can now say that we've got a whole lot of groups who are very strongly supportive of this particular project. Canterbury University and the University Students Association, the hospitality sector, and Brian's going to speak to that in just a moment, the Committee for Canterbury, numerous community groups, the type of U3A, Rotary groups that we've been out and about around, the Selwyn District Council, city developers. I think Richard Peebles making a presentation himself later this afternoon. He's part of our trust. Large city professional organisations that we've spoken to, and of course the sports sector at large. And I think we could probably add Ed Sheeran to that list because he seems to be quite in favour of covered stadia to come and do his thing. So I think the common view is that we need certainty, we need direction, but the notion of let's do it seems to be a popular cry today, and I think we could say that from the groups that have supporting. The third point I want to make a comment about is about major events. My work involves working for Major Events New Zealand, and I've just come back recently from the Major Events conference called Sport Accord, which is where business and cities and events, people get together. It's an amazing conference. And it's a wheeling and dealing type of thing where major events get put up and propositioned, and there was something like 68 cities there, of which Auckland was one of them. What it reminded me is that multi-event facilities are the best tool you can have in your toolkit when you're talking to major event organisers. They want certainty, they want to know what they're coming to, and that's why we need certainty. I appreciate that the multi-purpose arena is only one part of Christchurch's multi-event strategy, but it's an important part. What we need is certainty so that we can do the wheeling and dealing and talking about bringing events here with certainty about times and dates. The fourth point I want to make is about that the basis of our submission is to urge you to bring forward and appropriate the funding which is already earmarked in the long-term plan. That is clearly what we're not asking for more money, we're asking for an appropriation of the money which already exists in your strategic infrastructure document. And the reason is that each year we know that the cost of this facility will increase, the cost of maintaining the temporary stadium will increase, and the opportunities, the delay in realising the economic benefits to the city will also accumulate. So we believe that the timing is important, hence we're asking for this, bringing this forward. We also hope that the business case can be activated pretty quickly. We're aware that there's been a lot of consultation, a lot of reports, and I think the last thing we need now is another tier of consultants and consulting, because there should be enough work being done for the business case to be properly put in place, and I hope it's pursued rapidly. Final comment is about a possible role for our trust going forward. This is not about our trust. We don't have egos. We don't care who gets the credit or the blame. It is about us as a trust wanting to keep the project moving forward in a coordinated fashion, and if there is a role for us going forward, we can happy to revamp, upskill our committee to play a part in that, and we might make a submission to you. All of this is about the strong belief that this project can add to the spirit and the pride in Christchurch. That's what it's about. The spirit and pride of Christchurch has been knocked around, and we believe that bringing this into the central city activates pride and spirit, and that's really the most important thing that we have to offer and submit. I'm going to pause there and just ask for Brian to make some comments from the hospitality sector.
Thank you, Mayor and Councillors. It's certainly a pleasure to make some comments on behalf of the hospitality sector. I think you're pretty aware the sector's under pressure. The hotel rooms that we had at the time of the earthquake were around 3,700. We're down to under 2, and their occupancy and their rates are well behind Auckland, Wellington and Christchurch. And what is the reason why it's happening? Why is it happening? It's the delay in getting Christchurch back up and running. At the time of the earthquake, we had 25% of the convention business in New Zealand. That delivered $100 million in economic benefit. That's gone. We're punching well above our weight. The Lions test here, we hosted a midweek game. We got 5,269 domestic visitors, and there was an economic benefit than 1,900 international visitors. An economic benefit of 8.3 million. Look at Wellington, they had a Hurricanes game on the Saturday, second test on the following Saturday, 16,000 international visitors, 21,000, an economic benefit of 30 million. Auckland got around about 70 million. And there's still a lot in the community that figure and still talk about this stadium being a rugby stadium. It's not a rugby stadium. Rugby's important. Yes, we want to get back to A-grade tests. We want a good place to support our great Crusaders team. But there has been a change in mindset. You know that entertainment today is a key driver of domestic tourist activity. So, you know, we've got to participate, and we can't. And the only way we're going to get any chunk of that is through a multi-purpose, roofed, well thought through stadium. Talking to the airport guys, they say their busiest days are when there's a major event or major events outside the city. Surely as shareholders in the airport, you want to see that airport busy when people are coming to this town. Malcolm Johns tells me that a visitor to an event in Christchurch spends 6 times more than a local resident going to that event. And I know that the greatest, he also says, the greatest patronage going to Forsyth Bar comes from Canterbury people. There's no doubt a vibrant hospitality sector is important for the well-being of the city. I think you're all aware of that. Our members are proud Cantabs. You know, we want to see our city succeed, and we've only got to read in the paper. We've got to learn from Auckland's conservative decision in terms of when they revamped Eden Park, and what are they doing now, wanting a major covered stadium. I want to back Barry's comments. We must accelerate the $254 million into your 3-year plan. We urge you to work well with government and make the right decision, because remember, this decision is going to affect this city for 50 years. Together, let's make Christchurch New Zealand's happening city.
Thank you. Sarah.
Thank you for that. And there's absolutely no doubt that a stadium brings that really good feel-good factor to a city and generates money in the local economy. When the business cases are done and when the hospitality industry are weighing up the things, do you take into account the fact that the $253 million, which is the ratepayers' share, if you like, is money that first has to come out of ratepayers' pockets, if you like, plus interest over time. And so you're taking $253 million out of the economy to start with. So to make up for that over time, you need to bring in external funding. Is that right?
You could certainly view it in a very sort of insular way like that. But if you look at all the businesses that are struggling and paying rates, I'm sure that's going to offset it. And you know, the generation, you just think of those things that Malcolm said, you know, 6 times, 10,000 people come to the test with 60,000 you know, locals. I mean, we just can't disregard.
I'm just saying that if
things.
it's locals, that's all. It's just that, you're taking the money out to make, you know.
Well, a lot of us investing serious money in the city.
Look, thank you very much for your submission. It's much appreciated, but we've come to the end of the time. So thank you very, very much.